Hello, my name is Joshua Martin, and this is my video explanation for the first three sections of my lesson plan. As you can see from the top, I've included the information required for this assignment. My name, Joshua Martin. This is a 7th grade lesson, and the subject is music. I'm a band director, and this lesson will be used in my 7th grade beginning band class. The Common Core state standard chosen for this lesson is 7RPA2B. That means it's for 7th grade under the heading of ratios and proportional relationships. It says it is to recognize and represent proportional relationships between quantities, identify the constant of proportionality in tables, graphs, education, diagrams, and verbal description of proportional relationships. What is the objective for student learning for this lesson? The students will be able to identify and demonstrate an understanding of the relationships between different mathematical fractions and musical rhythms. They will also be able to verbally count and clap through a series of examples, rhythms on the board, and construct an original 4-measure rhythmic composition. As I was studying through the Common Core state standards, I learned that we are expected to teach reading in every classroom. And I believe that this can also apply to mathematics, especially music. As I will demonstrate in this lesson, there is a direct correlation between mathematical fractions and musical rhythms. I believe that teaching this math is going to help students in their understanding of music. Why have I chosen these objectives? I have two reasons. First of all, incorporating this math standard into the curriculum of my band hall is going to reinforce what these students are learning in the math classroom. Also, it's going to build upon the foundation of natural progression of the students' future skills and learning with reading and composing music and rhythms. As these students progress through their musical education, the music that they read will also increase in difficulty. I believe that understanding and mastering these basics is going to increase the students' level of achievement. All right, going down to student grouping. In this lesson, I will be using whole group and small group instruction. Why have I chosen this grouping? I've chosen whole group because in the beginning I will use it for a lecture and discussion section. This will allow me to review math concepts that they have learned in the math classroom and also correlate it to how it affects or how it correlates to the music rhythms that we will discuss. The discussion format in whole group will be used for the students to ask questions, for me to quiz the students, and also for me to get a bit of a formative assessment as to where they stand currently with this understanding. I've chosen the small group function because we'll be using a small group activity where the students are grouped by instrumentation. I will group them based on what key their instrument plays in. So all the B flat instruments will be together, all the E flat instruments, all the F instruments, C instruments, and percussion. The reason I'm doing this is because on their handouts, it will show how this music is notated for their specific key. It's going to help familiarize them with what it looks like. I was not introduced to what other types of instruments were in my key group until college. And I feel that giving this information to students earlier on will help them foster an idea of how everything correlates as far as key groups and notation. Also, the small group is going to give me an opportunity to walk around the room for formative assessment. I'll be able to see where students are struggling and assist them. After this, we'll go back to whole group after the small group function for a report out session. It's going to give them a chance to demonstrate what they've done in their small groups and for me to assess the end product of their small group work. Now that they're back in the whole group setting for this report out, it's also going to give me a chance to administer the individual written assessment. All right, methods. I've kind of talked a little bit about them already, but the methods that I've chosen to use in this lesson will be lecture with discussion, modeling, small group activity, report back section, and independent formative assessment. Like I told you earlier, with the lecture and discussion, it's going to give me a chance to review and explain the concepts of fractions and how they correlate to musical rhythms. I'll be able to model these on the board and group them together so our visual learners will have a chance to really grab hold of the concept. Following that, we're going to go into small groups. It's going to give them a chance for some peer involvement and familiarizing themselves with which instruments are in their specific group. When they do the report back, it's going to give them a chance to witness the concluding discussion and also demonstrate their work. And then I'm going to formatively assess them with the individual assignment. The Marzano strategies I will use in this lesson are identifying similarities and differences. I'll do that in the beginning with the lecture and discussion, and then cooperative learning through the small group activities. I've chosen these methods because it's the lecture and discussion is going to be the most efficiently done with the whole group. It's the best way for me to review these concepts with all of them. The modeling method is going to teach them and help familiarize them with how these concepts look in relation to each other. And the small group method will show students engaging in cooperative learning and give me the opportunity for formative assessment. Then we have the concluding discussion method is going to help me wrap everything up. And then the written individual assessment will allow me to evaluate each student's progress and their understanding of the concepts and the content. It'll help me know what I need to revisit during our next class period and when we can continue on to further modules. So thank you very much. This has been my video analysis.